John Urschel is an anomaly for many. At just 27 years old, he played college football for Penn State, was drafted by the Baltimore Ravens, and is now just a year shy from finishing his Ph.D. in mathematics from MIT. On top of that, he and his wife, journalist Louisa Thomas, welcomed a baby daughter in 2017. The two have just co-authored a new book titled Mind and Matter, A Life in Math and Football, a memoir about Urschel's life balancing both at the highest levels. Looking back, he says this drive to be the best started early on in life.
As a child, I was always into puzzles. I was always into sort of games. And I loved solving problems and just trying to find the solution to sort of enjoyable puzzles. And this is what my love of math really was born out of. With respect to football, my father played college football. He played at the University of Alberta. And so he was a big influence on me with respect to sports. And I wanted to play football because, I wanted to be like my dad in many ways. My mom, actually, she was the first person in her family to go to college. She really did quite well for herself. And so education was really important to her because she had seen firsthand the power of education in improving her life.
With his parents supporting both ends of his endeavors, Urschel went on to play for the football powerhouse Penn State while juggling his undergraduate studies in mathematics.
It took a lot of work, I'll admit. College athletes, they really have their work cut out for them. A lot is asked of them, but it was also really enjoyable. College football is an amazing experience, being able to sort of represent your university with all of your best friends, and I really cherished my time at Penn State, even though I was quite busy sort of managing football and mathematics at the same time. The football program loved all the things I was doing with math, and they supported me, and they wanted me to do whatever it was I wanted, and sort of my math mentors really encouraged me to do what I wanted to do with football, and I think it's not like that everywhere, but I was really lucky to be in a great football program at Penn State where they actively sort of encouraged me with respect to education.
With guidance and help along the way from his family, team, and mentors, Urschel excelled in football and school, graduating from Penn State with dual degrees in mathematics and signing with the Baltimore Ravens as an offensive lineman. But playing in the NFL wasn't the same as in college.
It was very different. It was really enjoyable in the sense that I was getting the chance to play football at the highest level, a sport that I had played for a long time, and there's something amazing in that. But the team atmosphere is definitely not the same. The sort of closeness with your teammates, I think, is not the same. And the sense of allegiance you feel to your team and the sense of allegiance your team feels towards you, it's just not the same.
Despite the pressure of playing pro, Urschel found the time to feed his passion for math and keep learning. In the spring of 2016, he enrolled in MIT to take classes full-time on the off-season. But when football picked back up, he had to juggle both while on the road. Urschel talks about a bad concussion that knocked him out of commission for weeks, leaving him questioning where his efforts were best placed.
It was really frustrating. Concussions, these things happen in all sports, and this is a risk you take when you play sports. But it was really frustrating because I really loved football, I really loved math, and I couldn't do either of those things at the time. So it was a really frustrating time in my life.
While Urschel was back to doing what he loves after a short break, the long-term dangers could persist. Chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE, thought to be caused by repeated hits to the head, has been a big topic in football in recent years. When asked if this was a factor, Urschel says those concerns weren't a major reason in his decision to ultimately quit football.
I think it was sort of the more time I spent at MIT, every single time I left MIT, it got harder and harder. And it started to not be a question of, am I going to retire, but how soon? Am I going to retire now, or am I going to play one more year and then retire? But all of a sudden, the mindset really did become, no, I'm going to be done with football very soon and sort of focus on mathematics. And then also sort of the coming of my daughter was another big thing.
Urschel retired in 2017 after 3 seasons with the Baltimore Ravens. Now he's wrapping up his Ph.D. at MIT, with plans to graduate in 2020 with a doctorate in applied mathematics. Urschel says he's happier than ever and thankful he gets to be an academic for the rest of his life, spending his days solving problems and inspiring others.
I think MIT life is really enjoyable in many ways. Okay, I mean, a PhD student's salary here doesn't really compare to an NFL salary, but there's a lot of people here doing things that they really love and they really enjoy. And we come into work every day, we get to call it work, and we just read papers, we learn about mathematics, we try to solve interesting open problems, we teach undergrads and young people and try to inspire them with respect to math. And it's just an amazing thing, and it's crazy that people get to call that a job. And I'm really glad that I took the path that I did. And it's very different from a lot of my colleagues in mathematics here who sort of pure math people, sort of their whole lives doing international math competitions and going to Princeton mathematics for undergrad and all of these sorts of things. And I have to say, I'm really glad I took the road I did because it gave me a lot of characteristics that I'm thankful for.
He says it was incredibly tough at times to be a student and athlete, but in the end, the late nights and grit it took shaped him into the well-rounded, driven person he is today.
I would say follow your dreams, be passionate, understand what your goals are, what you want to accomplish, and be dedicated to that. And be resilient, because when you're trying to do both of these things at a high level, you're going to face setbacks, you're going to face adversity, and to be able to push through that.
As a minority in mathematics, Urschel wants to inspire kids from all backgrounds that if you dream it, you can do it. The notion that education doesn't matter if you're a student athlete is false. It does. It just takes a lot of hard work to do both.
You have this idea, but you also have these athletes who so much is being asked of them, and it's very hard for them to sort of also manage their academics, but I think it's possible, and I think it's important to send a message to young people, especially kids in middle school and high school, that it's important and it's really beneficial to be a little bit well-rounded, to, yes, be strong in academics, because I have to say education matters, but doing some sort of physical activity, this is just a good thing for your life. I just wanted to sort of share a story of what it takes to be really good at something and what that's like, the work that was required, and also the dedication and the perseverance. I hate to break it to people. If you read this book, there's not going to be some secret about how to be really good at two things. It turns out that it just really takes hard work, and a lot of it.
You can find out more about the book Mind and Matter, A Life in Math and Football, written by John Urschel and Louisa Thomas at viewpointsonline.net. Our writer-producer for this segment is Amira Zaveri. I'm Gary Price.
How much do you know about migraine? June is National Migraine and Headache Awareness Month, so it's a great time to start learning. You probably know that migraine can be disabling and marked by severe head pain. But did you know that migraine is the third most prevalent illness in the world? In the U.S. alone, millions of people are affected by migraine. And did you know that 1 in 3 patients with migraine avoid planning activities because they fear a migraine attack will force them to cancel? Are you losing precious moments to migraine? What if you could find more moments with less migraine? Ajovy Fremonizumab VFRM injection is a prescription medicine for the preventive treatment of migraine in adults that reduces monthly migraine days, and for some, cuts their migraine days by 50% or more. Ajovy is the only preventive treatment for migraine that can be taken quarterly as 3 225 milligram injections or monthly as 1 225 milligram injection. Do not use if you are allergic to Ajovy or its ingredients. Ajovy may cause allergic reactions such as itching, rash, hives, swelling of face, mouth, tongue, or throat, or trouble breathing hours to 1 month after use. Get medical help right away if you have swelling or trouble breathing. Common side effects of Ajovy include injection site reactions, For more information about Ajovy, including the full prescribing information, talk to your doctor. Call 800-887-8100 or visit ajovy.com.
Family members are typically the first to notice memory issues or cognitive problems in a loved one, but they're often hesitant to say something. A new survey released by the Alzheimer's Association, however, reveals that nearly 9 in 10 Americans would want others to tell them if they themselves were showing signs of memory loss, thinking problems, or other symptoms of cognitive decline. This month, during Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month, the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council are launching a new campaign urging people to notice the signs and start a conversation. Ruth Drew is Director of Information and Support Services for the Alzheimer's Association.
Alzheimer's disease is challenging, but talking about it doesn't have to be. We say follow the ABCs, assess changes, begin a conversation, and contact the Alzheimer's Association for help.
For information on the campaign and resources to begin this important conversation, visit alz.org/ourstories.
Thank you for listening to Viewpoints Radio, a production of Media Tracks Communications. If you enjoyed this broadcast, please support our show by subscribing, sharing it with a friend, and leaving a review on Apple Podcasts. You can find more Viewpoints stories on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, and viewpointsonline.net. Also, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Viewpoints Radio.